The world of YouTube has changed. It's no longer just a bunch of kids having fun doing what they love, it's a business opportunity. This means that artists, gamers, athletes, and business-minded people all want skin in the game. Though, none more so than the likes of KSI and Logan Paul. Aside from Mr. Beast, this deadly duo has created a brand well beyond the YouTube space. Prime is different, you see, as it is not just another YouTuber scam product, but is now a global and mainstream sports drink, rivaling industry giants such as Gatorade. But their story isn't as straightforward as one would think. No, these two were fierce rivals for a long time. So how did two once mortal internet enemies come together to develop a billion-dollar company? By orchestrating one of the most strategic YouTuber business moves that has ever been made.
Logan, the Maverick Paul! Nightmare KSIOlajidebt!
The fastest growing sports drink in history.
I think it's safe to say that we all know at least one of these guys. I mean, they are literally everywhere on social media. But in order to understand how they rose to such fame and how Prime came to be, we need to go back to 2018. On the 25th of August 2018, KSI and Logan Paul were set for a boxing match against one another, as a result of KSI seeing how much financial potential there was in YouTuber boxing, right after beating his first opponent, Joe Weller. KSI wanted to follow up that first fight with an opponent that would rake in more viewers. This meant that KSI's next opponent needed to tick off a few boxes. The guy had to be similar physically, needed to be somewhat of a notorious figure or trash talker, and most importantly, had to be just as famous, if not more famous, than KSI himself. Logan Paul fit that description perfectly at the time, especially since he had just come off his scandalous Suicide Forest video back in December of 2017. At the time, Logan had been doing the rounds on social media, apologizing for his actions and trying to clear his name of any wrongdoings, as he was dropped by every major brand for the incident. This meant that Logan was desperate for a way out, a helping hand, if you will. That's when the boxing fight with KSI comes into play, as this was the perfect opportunity for all parties involved. Logan would get a second chance at changing his public perception, while KSI gets an opponent that would secure him the bag and help push the YouTuber boxing scene. The fight also made sense for the fans, as KSI was one of the biggest names in the industry at the time, and the general YouTube audience would have loved to see Logan Paul potentially get knocked out. When you add all of these things together, you get one of the most hyped-up fights that the internet has ever seen. The fight resulted in a majority draw. Which meant there was only one way to finish the story, a rematch. The build-up for the rematch was even crazier, with the fight taking place on the 9th of November 2019 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. KSI would go on to win the rematch by split decision.
From the United Kingdom, the Nightmare KSIOlajidebt!
Although Logan Paul lost the fight, he didn't necessarily lose. See, Logan had managed to change his public perception throughout the course of both fights, transforming himself from a whiny, obnoxious teenage kid to a hard-working and more humble man. Logan would also come to realize that KSI had saved his career, and over the course of both fights, had gained huge amounts of respect towards JJ.
People joke, they say, KSI saved your career, right? Because he called me out the box, and it gave me an opportunity to literally start my potential redemption by fighting my way back.
Yeah.
This admiration would result in an unlikely friendship between the pair, as they began to realize that maybe they weren't that different after all. Both guys were hardworking, intelligent businessmen that always strived for success, so it should have come as no surprise that they could have been friends from the start. The trajectory of their careers was also incredibly similar, even though they had completely different audiences. This meant that business opportunities between the pair had the potential to go global. So much so that on the 29th of December 2021, KSI and Logan began to market a quote-unquote final chapter in their story, with an official announcement date being set for the 4th of January 2022. Although many fans thought that a third fight was going to be announced, this was not the case, as the YouTube duo instead announced that they were releasing a new sport drinks brand under the name Prime. Prime Hydration was the brainchild of Logan, who had got talking to a number of different investors and a Kentucky-based consumer packaged goods company named Congo. Logan knew that onboarding a partner like KSI could only help the company flourish, as JJ offered a transatlantic reach due to his audience and also possessed the financial resources to invest in the company. Therefore, you could understand why the duo thought coming together was only a good idea, even if they had hated each other not so long ago. The mission statement for Prime Hydration was taste and hydration, or as the labeling says, where function and flavor come first. The drink itself contains coconut water, zero sugar, antioxidants, BCAAs, zinc, which helps with immunity, and electrolytes. Prime Hydration initially launched with just 5 flavors, which were lemon lime, orange, blue raspberry, grape, and punch. Since then, they have released a number of limited edition flavors such as the KSI flavor, and have added 4 more standard flavors, which are Ice Pop, Strawberry Watermelon, Meta Moon, and Lemonade. The drink officially launched in stores and online on the 8th of January 2022, exclusively in the US. The demand for the product was astronomical, selling out all stock within just 4 days. Prime would launch in the UK 6 months later, on the 17th of June 2022, exclusively in ASDA stores and at a set price of £1.50. Just a month later, on the 27th of July 2022, the duo would announce their first major sponsorship deal with Arsenal FC, becoming the club's official hydration partner. This partnership was especially rewarding for KSI since he is a lifelong fan of the club. The demand for the product didn't subside, meaning that the Prime team needed to find a solution to appease customers.
This is the worst!
That's when the Dutch-based beverage company Refresco were introduced into the mix, in order to help ease the flow of product within Europe, particularly in the UK. Though, even with the extra help in production, Prime was still sold out most of the time. But why? Well, the answer is simple, really. Prime had become a status symbol for the youths of today, which meant that business owners and ASDA employees were taking advantage of the market by bulk buying the hydration drink in order to sell it on for ridiculous margins later. The price of Prime rose to crazy numbers, with some bottles being sold for hundreds if not thousands of dollars on eBay and similar marketplace sites. Similarly to illegal substances, Prime had developed a black market, meaning that if you wanted to buy a bottle, you'd most likely need to spend well above the marketed original price. Thankfully, though, although many profited off the demand of kids wanting to try Prime, the duo managed to sort out their distribution worries, with Prime now being readily available in most shops and major outlets in both the UK and the US. The drink can also be directly purchased online through the official Prime Hydration website. The duo wouldn't stop there, though, as in 2023 the duo launched a new product range called Prime Energy, which utilized the same flavors as Prime Hydration but as a caffeinated energy drink instead. The Prime team also announced a number of collaborations, which included the likes of the baseball team the Dodgers, football clubs Bayern Munich and Barcelona, the LA Lakers, and entertainment programs like the WWE and the UFC. The company also onboarded a number of high-profile athletes such as quarterback Patrick Mahomes, UFC champion Israel Adesanya, and the goal-scoring robot Erling Haaland. These collaborations and sponsorship deals truly showcased just how well the company was doing, which culminated in a mouth-watering annual revenue of just over $1.2 billion in 2023. A crazy number considering the company had just been formed in the beginning of 2022. This just goes to show that when you have two bigger-than-world personalities, a hardworking team backing you, and a huge yet loyal audience, just about anything is possible. The rise of Prime Hydration is nothing short of incredible, and it's no less than the duo deserves considering how hard they worked to achieve this success. In essence, KSI and Logan Paul are the real celebrities and idols for the new generation, showcasing that with enough perseverance and belief, you can achieve any dream you set your mind to. Their rise over the years has been nothing short of spectacular, and the fact that they've created a global brand says a lot. If you were to ask anyone if some random YouTubers would be able to create a company this big by primarily using their own reach, they'd call you crazy. In fairness, though, KSI and Logan Paul were never just some ordinary YouTubers. No, they were always businessmen at heart. This duo, alongside Mr. Beast, have become the first self-made YouTube billionaires. In essence, Prime represents exactly what the duo is all about, which is two guys in their prime fighting for a chance at redemption and success. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Who would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay Quixotic.